Yo, what's happening? It's your boy, Trey. I don't like saying my own name. I don't like saying it's your boy, Trey, because it's such a normal name. But anyway, it's Trey. I will put my social media stuff here. And here, it's going to say OG Brim. Trey, OG Brim, same person. Like, just, you know. If you already follow me, you know. But if you don't, hey, my name is Trey or OG Brim. But if you're watching this, thank you for clicking. This is the debut episode of my podcast. Do I want to call it a podcast? I'm going to call it a podcast. But I don't really have a name for it. I got the workhorse media photography going on. I don't know if I want to call this the same thing. But whatever I put in the title, that's what I decided is the name. But anyway, here's my podcast. I know you looking at me and like, man, here's Trey. I hate that they gave him a camera because all he does is use his camera and take pictures and do videos of other stuff. Well, when you give me time and the camera, I get bored, okay? I get bored. But a podcast is something I've always wanted to do, but I've never really had the urge. I never really had the material. It was in the works, but I was never forced to do it. Until this past week, it's been a lot of things going on that I've got to give my opinion on. I got to give my opinion. Maybe that's the title. I'm not going to worry about the title anymore. But few housekeeping notes. You're going to see this deal right here. This is my phone. And I don't have the equipment right now. So I've just got to work with what I got. This is my mic. Okay? I don't have the boom mic. I don't have... This is what you got. Don't judge me. Secondly, all my social media is gonna be here. Follow, click, like, share, all of the things that you do on social media, do it to these things. Thanks. I really appreciate it. But if you haven't noticed, I am rocking a Notre Dame Fighting Irish sweater. And that's where we're gonna start. Because I'm a fan of the Fighting Irish, but I live in SEC country. So you kind of see the dilemma that I am in right now with the whole world not understanding why Notre Dame is in the Final Four of the college football playoffs. And I don't get what y'all don't get. Like, I honestly, I don't get it. And the reasoning behind this stuff is just as mind-blowing. And I'm gonna run down the list. I got it right here. So I'm not just making this up. But getting right into it, why don't you think Notre Dame is supposed to be in the college football Final Four? You got Alabama at 1, Clemson at 2, Ohio State at 3, and that's another video by itself, and Notre Dame at 4, Texas A&M, the first team out at 5. And everybody's like, oh, why is Notre Dame in over Texas A&M? Calm down. The first reason you guys go to say that they shouldn't be in, they being Notre Dame, is they lost to Clemson big, 34-10. They shouldn't be in because we just saw them lose. Well, it's their first loss to a pretty good team. And also that number 5 team also lost big to a team in the playoffs. So it's either the point spread, which is more. Texas A&M lost by 28 to Bama, and Clemson beat Notre Dame by 24. So it's either the point spread, Texas A&M technically lost by more, or it's the fact that they lost. And Texas A&M did the same thing. So I don't get it. If the barometer is, oh, you didn't beat Clemson, then a lot of teams wouldn't be in. It's just, we should just go back to the BCS and just leave it at Bama, Clemson, because that's what you want. You're expecting the Clemson Tigers, who's been on top for the last 3, 4, 5, 6 years, to just be some easy feat. And when Notre Dame doesn't beat them, oh man, that proves that y'all suck. Y'all can't beat the number 2 team in the nation. That proves that you suck. You should be out. Well, actually, let me push up my glasses right here. Well, actually, Notre Dame beat them. earlier in the year, November 7th, Notre Dame won that game. The first, don't stop, wait, because I see you right now. Oh, they didn't have Trevor Lawrence in the game. They were missing some players, some starters on defense. It doesn't count. Did they? Or did they not take the field? That's all I want to know. That's all I want to know. Did they play the game or not? If they played the game, then that game counts. And Notre Dame won. Ha ha. But seriously, the quarterback play of that game wasn't the problem. DJ Uangalele, I'm just stick with DJ. DJ threw for 439 yards that game. And in regulation, he put up 33 points. As opposed to Trevor Lawrence, who didn't throw for 400 yards. And in regulation, he put up 34 points. The difference is the defense gave up 47 points in that first game and gave up 10 points the next game. And also, it's hard to beat a team twice. A good team twice in the same year. Even a bad team. It's hard to see the same team 2 times in a row and beat them both times. So if you're penalizing Notre Dame for losing a second time to a great Clemson team, then, I mean, that's on you. You see me keep looking down. I'm looking at my notes because I got notes to take care of. What was our first? They lost, but a lot of teams will lose to Clemson. 2, they actually beat Clemson. 3, here's the one. They always lose. When's the last time they won a big game? They always, I may be wrong, but what does the Alabama game in 2012 have to do with the game now? The game in 2012 was 8 years ago. There's nobody on that squad here now. What does that have to do with anything? What does one squad have to do with another squad? That doesn't mean a thing. If that's the case, then we shouldn't ever see Oklahoma again. We shouldn't ever see anybody that loses a game. Alabama shouldn't even be here because Alabama lost last year. They weren't good enough to make it last year. We don't want to see them again this year. I'm probably reaching. That's probably a bad example because Bama has a few championships. But you get what I'm saying. It doesn't matter that they lost years ago. This is a brand new team. That's stupid anyway. I don't care if they lost last year. They did what they had to do this year. And they should be in according to this year. Anywho, that's 3. 4. Texas A&M got smoked by Alabama as well. So what makes you think Texas A&M is a better team? Or what makes you think they won't get smoked a game? Now, I know I just said it's hard to beat the same team twice. I know. But I mean, Alabama's going to do it. Seriously, you think Texas A&M is going to get it done? When they got the same beating that Clemson gave Notre Dame? I guess they just didn't get it later in the year. I don't know. I guess it's the recency of you seeing Notre Dame lose that makes you think Texas A&M should be in there. I don't know, but in 4 tries, I still don't get it. But this is the one. Oh, brother, this is the one. Because, as I stated, I live in SEC country. And the cream of the crop excuse that they give for Texas A&M is they played an SEC schedule. What does that mean, though? They played an SEC schedule. Who did they play? Who did they beat? They got drugged by Alabama, and then they beat, I think Florida was what, 7? They beat Florida when they were number 4 at the time, actually. So they beat a really good Florida team and got stomped by Alabama. And then the rest of the schedule is just 3-7 teams from the SEC. Arkansas, Vandy, Tennessee, those terrible teams. And Auburn. Auburn wasn't 3-7. They were a solid team, but they weren't. Auburn wasn't a solid team. Auburn stinks. They just fired their coach. But what I'm saying is Notre Dame, on the other hand, beat Clemson when they were number 1. And they also beat number 13. Well, that's my time. I ran out of time. That's my time limit. Guys, I'll wrap this up. Notre Dame beat North Carolina. Texas A&M is going to play North Carolina this year. Notre Dame has a better resume, has more quality wins than Texas A&M. But in the comments, let me know if you agree, disagree. If you disagree, tell me who you think should be in. Again, follow all my social media. Click, like, share, comment, subscribe, engage, do whatever you got to do. Stay tuned. I think I got a B-block coming up. I got something else to talk about. Y'all remember the guy that was like, oh, I pay all the bills. I do well. My wife has never had to pay the bills. That's what makes me a real man. Well, I think you heard about him being on Yanla, Fix My Life, that show, because his family's not really happy. Stay tuned.